Hello and welcome to Quirky Cat Crafts. This is Sherry. Okay, you guys, final reveal for the green cat picture frame for my nephew's cat Gizmo that he had to put down a few weeks ago. He was 16 years old. So I'm going to cover up the mirror and the picture, but just real quick. They sent me a couple of pictures, but the one that was just of the cat, by the time you zoomed in and cropped it to the point where it would fit in the frame, it was so pixelated that it wasn't going to work. So I went with this picture, which this is Bo, and that's his little brother Jeff, and this is Gizmo. And this was taken, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago based on the age of the kids. So anyway, so that's the picture that I printed out. And of course, they can change it out whenever they want. So I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of paper over that so it's not, doesn't distract from the frame. And then I got another little one to put over the mirror. Okay, so we're going to go over this real quick. Let's start with his name at the bottom. So his name was Gizmo. And I stamped it out with this kind of, I don't know what kind of font it is, but I have a ton of alphabet stamp sets. So I picked one out and I did his name Gizmo in the dark green ink. And then they would also call him Cog, the cat dog, because he had a lot of dog-like behaviors. So across the top it says AKA Cog, and then down at the bottom it just says the cat dog. And I stamped those two out in the lighter green ink. And then I did a couple of green glitter tiles. And then I originally had 2 tiles up here that was like this, a light green and a dark green on each side. And I decided to go with these green gemstones instead. I don't know why, I just did. So that's what we did there. So that's his nameplate. And then the mirror at the top is going to be where, they got his paw print done in like plaster or whatever. And it's 3 inches around and it's a 3-inch mirror. So the frame is only 2 inches. So it does stand up an inch off the top. But his favorite toys were hair ties and the ring off of a milk jug. And so I figure they can hang a hair tie off one side and the ring of a milk jug off the other side, and to like represent his favorite toys. So, okay, embedded items. I've got 4 buttons. I've got a gray cat, a bottle of milk, a fish bone, and a little mouse. And I did those on the bright green pearl clay. And then on a dark green, I want to say it's racing green, I have 4 metal items embedded. So I have a paw print, a heart with wings, a smaller paw print over here, and then a smaller heart right there. And then that was it for embedded items. I did 4 stamps of cats, and I did them on silver pearl clay. They're kind of scruffy, cartoony looking cats, but that's really kind of how Gizmo looked. So I thought about like painting around the image with like green paint, but I decided not to. I decided to just leave it plain, keep it simple. I could have colored in the pillow and the ball of yarn with mica powders or alcohol inks, but I decided to just leave them plain because there's a lot going on visually on this frame. So the rest of the stamped items, I did half of them with dark green ink, half of them with the light green ink. So the dark green ink I did on white glitter clay. And we've got a litter box, a cat bed, a cat house, and a food dish. And then the words meow and purr. The light green I did on white pearl clay. And I've got a scratching post, a ball of yarn, a cat brush, a can of cat food, a little toy mouse, and a little like feather fishing pole type toy. Okay. My hand painted, I did on dark green. I did the clay dark green. And then every other, I did my, oh God, I am so sorry, you guys. It is way past my bedtime. I did the wavy lines, which if you get the blade set that comes with that Sculpey brand, it comes with like this kind of waffle blade. And I just use the dull side. And I will roll out a sheet of clay, make, evenly space or as evenly as possible, space out the lines, and then cut them down into smaller tiles and bake them. So that's how I get these hand painted. And so I did every other line with black paint, and I used, this is a Sharpie paint pen. It is oil-based. It's black. I did learn you want to get oil-based. If you get the water-based, the paint comes right off the clay. So you really make sure if you're going to use Sharpie paint pens, make sure that at the bottom it says oil-based, and it'll be like this pink band. The water-based is like a blue band. So just for your information. Okay, so I did those, and then on the squiggly lines, I just used a silver Sharpie. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Okay, I did a couple of different stamped filler tiles. This is on, I think it's called Pistachio Green. It's a souffle clay. And this is just a background stamp that I have that's like this Harlequin pattern. And because the souffle clay cuts so well after baking, I just do it as a full sheet. Bake it as the sheet, and then I trim it down to fit where I need it. So I've got a few pieces of those spaced out in here. And then the other stamped filler is this. I did this on the graphite pearl clay. And it's another just geometric stamp that I have that's like a checkerboard. And so I have a few pieces of that tucked in. The other texture tile that I have, I did on like a Spanish olive green with my favorite swirly texture stamp. And then I just rubbed it with green mica powders. And that's a pearl primo clay, and those cut fairly well after baking as well. So yeah, so I just did it as a big sheet and cut it down. So I've got a few pieces of that tucked in, right? And then I've got the leafing is just silver leafing on black clay, and I did a paw print texture stamp. I cut that down and tucked it in a few places. I added 2 additional mirror tiles on the sides to balance the top and bottom mirror tiles. It wasn't necessary, but I had the room to do it, so I did it. And it's just a little paw print sticker on top of the mirror tile. And then I added in some glass glitter tiles. You can get tiles this size from Dollar Tree, but they don't have the glitter ones, or they didn't the last time I looked. But they do have just a plain glass one in different colors. But I get the glitter ones off of Amazon. I order them in bulk, and I've got every color of the rainbow. So, so I have 2 tucked in there, and then, of course, I use the 2 on the mirror. And then I have 3 tucked in up here. And then the rest of the little gaps, I just use this like silver bling cut down and tucked in the little gaps that I had. So that's it for this one. This is the green cat picture frame for my nephew's cat Gizmo. He was 16 years old, and he was a really funny cat. He was a great cat, and he had an excellent life. So this is for Gizmo. So I'll be delivering this to my nephew tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure that I did the final rebuild video for you guys. So, all right, you guys. So I'll go ahead and take the paper off so you can see one more time. So that's Gizmo with Luke, wow, with Bo and Jeff. And then the circle paw print will go up here. All right, you guys. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching.